560, The Answer.
I've been 100% serious. I've been briefed by just about every alphabet agency there is. And I'll just tell you this, if they would release the things that I've seen, you would stay up, you'd be up at night worrying about it.
Yeah, I don't want to have sex with aliens. I haven't heard enough time.
The Corvair spacecraft has apparently been taken over, conquered, if you will, by a master race of giant space ants. It's difficult to tell from this vantage point whether they will consume the captive Earthmen or merely enslave them. One thing is for certain, there is no stopping them. The ants will soon be here. And I, for one, welcome our new insect overlords. I'd like to remind them that as a trusted TV personality, I can be helpful in rounding up others to toil in their underground sugar caves.
John Palatine.
Hey, Shaun, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Hey, do you think they meant by going where no man has gone before? Could that be Jan Schakowsky's underpants, maybe?
Oh, that's a rough one. I still say they smell better than Michelle Obama's, but that's just me. I'm silly that way. Lamo, Chris!
Yo, Shaun, hey, I just recently got kicked to the curb, so I'm single and I'm ready to mingle. So if you go hook me up with one of these alien broads,
yeah.
I'd be happy. I'd be grateful.
Maybe they have more than two breasts. That's going to be interesting. Thank you very much, Chris. I like the way you think. Glenn in Orlando.
Shaun, I can prove aliens here. Look at the No Kings rally.
By the way.
Of course.
Does it? Did you really look at it? Did you ever spend any time? I've got a couple things. When you see these fracking morons, have you ever really listened to it and looked at them? And these are all repulsive Democrats. Look.
What do you make of the fact that he was democratically elected, even won the popular vote? How does that make him a king?
It doesn't make him a king. It makes him a president, not a king.
Well, this is called No Kings. So what does that mean to you?
It means we got to get rid of him. He's not a king. It's a democratic process, and we've gone that route with him. Now he's acted like a king.
Can you give me?
He's 5'2", 320 pounds. Never did a push-up in his life with a cowboy hat on. And the alien broads say no. Pass. You can't even get that guy laid with alien broads with 3 boobs. Thank you very much, Glenn. Jay, Lake Geneva, Wisconsin.
Oh, I like the humor. Everybody's laughing, but hey, man, Tim Burkett and Matt Gaetz and how about that Hubba? She's not yours. She's like Orlando's Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna. Oh man,
yeah.
I know, but
Listen,
this is
Jay,
real. Yeah,
it's me, it's you, it's Squirrel. I'll kick the ass of a Guatemalan illegal alien or one of those space illegal aliens. Bring it or shut the frack up. Can't wait for the aliens to get here. Greg in Rogers Park.
Shaun, first of all, I want to wish you and your family and everyone on AM 560 a very happy and blessed Holy Week and Easter. And thank you for everything you've done. You've educated me a lot on things, and I just thank you for helping me understand things better over the years.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah. No, it's very important what you do, and you really put a light on in the darkness. My question is, do you think the U.S. should leave NATO like President Trump talked about?
I think the U.S. should have left NATO decades ago. The whole fracking thing. You want to know when the U.S. should have left NATO and NATO should have been disbanded? When the Soviet Union collapsed. Right then and there. The whole world would be different. But if you look at the players that kept it in action, it's not just moron Democrats, a lot of scumbag Bushes. A lot of scumbag Bushes kept that going. I mean, the whole thing is a joke, and it's more of a war incentivizer than anything else. And when you look how it actually works, they've been stealing the fracking money the whole time.
Do you believe the EU and NATO countries betrayed the U.S. at this crucial moment?
I think it was very disappointing. You have this, and again, look, the president and our country will have to re-examine all of this after this operation is over. But one of the reasons why NATO is beneficial to the United States is it gives us basing rights for contingencies. It allows us to station troops and aircraft and weapons and in parts of the world that we would normally have bases, and that includes in much of Europe. And to see that in a time of need, the United States has identified a grave risk to our national security and our national interests, and we needed to conduct this operation. And we have countries like Spain, a NATO member, that we are pledged to defend, denying us the use of their airspace. And
so what did I pay you for? Hey, conquistador moron, what the frack did I pay you and your dumpy wife for? Now give me the money back. Deal's off. should we do it? There's no reason to keep it. There is zero reason to give them $1. And then look at the foreign policy over the years. Look at the trillions and trillions and trillions. And you got the balls to tell me no? You're lucky Trump's in there. Because I just take, now Spain is mine. I'll pretend I'm one of those theocrats, those illegal aliens that broke in and are changing it into one of those Sharia law places. Now it's mine.
Bragging about it, denying us the use of their bases. And there are other countries that have done that as well. And so you ask yourself, well, what is in it for the United States? And I've been a big supporter of NATO. And one of the reasons why I've been a supporter of NATO is because I believe that these basing rights give us leverage and give us flexibility and operation.
Well, that's the story you were told, Marco. And I like that you believe those stories, but you should never believe them. Look at the scum that are telling you the stories of NATO.
Upon Putin, I don't think that that Russia could maintain the war forever, number one, in terms of their resources and capacity. Number two.
And all the money stolen.
Two, I think that there is going to be a circumstance where eventually President Putin is going to decide it's not in the interest of Russia, economically, politically, or otherwise.
And does anybody remember why it started? Why did it start? Have anything to do with the fact that the Ukrainian people themselves were calling their government the most corrupt government in the world? They outlawed an entire religion. The Ukrainians. You outlawed a religion. Who the freck are you, morons? The religion was there when you were the Soviet Union. It was there before you were the Soviet Union, and it'll be there afterwards. But not among the Ukrainian Azov Nazis. Oh, yeah. Still celebrating Stefan Bandera Day on the 1st. Screw you and that Stefan Bandera Nazi. Too bad my uncle didn't kill him, too. Corey Woodlawn.
Hey, evening, Shaun. You know, I heard Pam Bondi got let go, but I wanted to get your take on this because I thought Pam Bondi was pretty loyal. I know she didn't make a massive amount of arrests, but I did want to hear what your take is.
Well, there were a lot of things going on. There were a lot of wheels in motion, but apparently, listen, did you? I only watched, I think, 2 of those episodes of The Apprentice. Yeah, he's big on firing people. And you're fired. Listen, could she have done more? I think she could have done more, but here's what people, and I would say it when people would call you, she's got to do an arrest and this. I got a cut on the board. And it's an interesting cut, Corey, and I'll tell you why. They caught one of these Somalians who stole. This is another one. Now we got the 3 female judges who let the people go. There's another judge now. I'm trying to look for it, where she let the people go with saying they'll never be back in a federal crime again. They were convicted and they admitted they actually pled guilty on the crime, stealing like $7 million, $8 million. It was one of these suck-ons, and the judge said, "I'm never going to do it." Where is it, Honey Bunny? You find it? Honey Bunny will find it. It's a fascinating example of, so now we got 3 female judges that overturned jury convictions of millions of dollars in time. Now, and they let them walk right out of the courtroom. You've got judges in Wisconsin that smuggle illegal aliens out under the robe. So you got a lot of moving parts, right? So how do you pull, like, for instance, Chicago? How could you possibly pull a big-time, mobbed-up, daily sycophant and convict him and charge him in Cook County, in Chicago, in Illinois? So there were a lot of headwinds. But look, if it's time for a change, change it. I don't care what it takes. Go get some of the money back. Because the idea that we pretend that we're doing something when we're not, that's as stupid as taking a flight around the moon for $200 billion.